opponent, the current WBO Super Middleweight champion, CHRIS EUBANK, in the white trunks. And at this time, CHRIS EUBANK was 9-0 with 3 knockouts. You can see CHRIS EUBANK with that unusual style of keeping his hands about chest high, holding them close together. But he has a good jab, good fast hands, and good power. This was only his 10th pro fight here against STEVE Aquilina out of Wolverhampton, England. CHRIS EUBANK coming out of the Brighton area. You can see STEVE Aquilina now getting a little bit aggressive with EUBANK. CHRIS EUBANK has a sturdy chin, and as I say, now in the year of 1993, he is the WBO Super Middleweight champion, still undefeated. I mean, 5 years later, he remains undefeated, unbeaten. And there you see a good uppercut, followed by a left hand by CHRIS EUBANK. Again, CHRIS EUBANK continuing to put the pressure on STEVE Aquilina, although Aquilina is actually pressing forward against EUBANK, and now CHRIS EUBANK ties him up. STEVE Aquilina in that orthodox style, keeping his hands high, protecting himself. And CHRIS EUBANK is anything but orthodox. He's definitely almost awkward, although he's not awkward because he's not off balance, but he has a very unusual style. Super middleweights here on the 8-count boxing hour. CHRIS EUBANK coming off of that victory over Greg George, and he took Greg George out in 5 rounds, which leads him up to this fight with STEVE Aquilina. They're pretty quiet unless there's a big title fight or something like that, and then you hear the singing in the background. There you see CHRIS EUBANK now shooting that jab out. If he gets the jab established, he will control this man. STEVE Aquilina needs to get in there and hurt CHRIS EUBANK, otherwise he's going to be just another victim. Again, you can see that Aquilina is a good boxer. Look at the way he holds his hands, the way he moves, and that ends the first round. And look at CHRIS EUBANK now strutting around the ring. CHRIS EUBANK, something else. I don't know if English fight fans go for that strutting around the ring all that much. And there you look at the corner of STEVE Aquilina. STEVE Aquilina actually having a good round, that opening round. His record 5-3. But he looks like a real fine boxer. Round 2 now underway. I'd like to thank all the boxing fans of Albuquerque for joining us on another 8-count boxing hour. And be sure to write to us, and I'll send you a Danny Romero bumper sticker. And I might even send you a boxing magazine or a boxing card. You never know what you're going to get. But take time to write. The address is P.O. Box. You got your pencil? Go get your pencil and some paper. We'll give you a few seconds. There you see CHRIS EUBANK landing a good body shot. Now he follows with a combination. And another one. And another one. And a good left hand. Look at the fast hands of CHRIS EUBANK. He's an outstanding boxer. Okay, that address now. The 8-count boxing hour. P.O. Box 91801. Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the zip code is 87199. Put the foot movement into his arsenal as well. And he comes back with some combinations now. Aquilina tries to answer with an uppercut coming up way short. And you'd think with EUBANK's hands that low that he'd be an easy target, but not at all. And now look at EUBANK. Very unusual style, but you gotta say it's effective. Right now, Chris Eubank is 33-0 with 18 knockouts, and he's the WBO Super Middleweight champion, so I guess he knows what he's doing. Now you see a series of right hands. And there's a big right from Aquilina. Steve shooting that right hand, and that's what he needs to do. He's got to hurt Eubank or he's going to be out of here. Chris Eubank now using his feet to box very smartly. Aquilina missing with all kinds of shots. Like fighting a mirage. You think it's there, you shoot what you got and come up short. Now again, Aquilina comes in with that weak right hand, missing again with the right. And Chris Eubank just using his legs to get out of trouble, and now he sticks his left hand in there. Chris Eubank with combination punching now. Slugger, and that ends the second round. And there you see the Eubank strut as he struts back to his corner. Another good round for Chris Eubank out of Brighton. Steve Aquilina doing as well as he can. Okay, so round 3 underway now. Steve Aquilina in the blue trunks with the white stripe down the side. Chris Eubank, the undefeated English sensation, in the white trunks. Professional boxing from London, England, here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour, Albuquerque's community cable channel 27. And again, you see Chris Eubank with that very entertaining style. He shoots the jab out. He's got a real nice jab. Now Aquilina getting down to the level of just throwing crazy right hands. That's about all he can do right now. Every time he shoots a clean shot, he gets countered. Chris Eubank now almost seeming to be pacing himself. Again, sticking that jab in there. Aquilina now trying to go down to the body with the jab, but even that didn't land. Lands the right hand, but it has no effect on Chris Eubank. Eubank with a very sturdy chin. There's a good right hand from Eubank. The crowd here deadly silent. Steve Aquilina in the blue trunks. Chris Eubank in the white. Now Aquilina's doing some body work, and it was scoring there, but Chris Eubank said, I think I had enough of that. Now he's shooting the jab to the body himself. Aquilina now giving a little bit of ground. He was pretty aggressive in that first round, but little by little. Anytime Eubank steps forward, Steve Aquilina steps back. And now Chris Eubank starting to stalk Aquilina. I think he can smell the end of this fight coming up. He's starting to feel his opponent wear down. We're in the third round here, scheduled for 6. These are super middleweights. And there's the bell to end the third round. Again, Chris Eubank strutting back to his corner. Aquilina just runs over to the stool and sits down. England known for its good fighters building up big records back in the homeland, and then when they go overseas to the United States, they usually get blown out. But Chris Eubank has proven to be an exception to the rule. And the English folks are hoping that Lennox Lewis will also prove to be the real thing in the heavyweight division. And now the fourth round of this bout scheduled for 6. Aquilina coming out fresh now, trying to throw something. He comes in behind the jab, throws the uppercut, and comes up short. Eubank continuing to move. There's a good left from Eubank and a chopping right. Aquilina counters with a left hand. There's another good left hand by Aquilina. So maybe the left hand is the key in this one from Chris Eubank. He comes back with some pawing jabs now. Throws a triple jab out there. There's a good body shot now. Real powerful, nice compact combinations from Chris Eubank. There's a good right hand from Aquilina with no effect at all on Chris Eubank. Now Eubank starting to let some power shots fly to the head of Steve Aquilina. Short on the right hand now. And look at Eubank just waiting for him. Like a snake just coiling up, ready to strike. And look at Eubank now jabbing his way forward. Unusual style, but really effective. There you see the jab again. He has a real nice jab. I'd like to see Chris Eubank take on James Toney. I think that'd be a real good fight. James lights out Toney. And Chris Eubank, boy, those are two cocky fellows. Oh man, look at that left hand on the chin. Flush on the chin. Aquilina is hurt bad. Look at him struggling to get up now. He's up at 9. The ref's going to look at him. No, he's in no shape to continue. They've got to stop it. The fight's over. 4th round knockout. Solid left hand by Chris Eubank. And there you see him with his hand raised. The pride of England, Chris Eubank. Real nice performance here in his 10th pro fight. Let's go up to the ring announcer for the call on this one.
After 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the 4th round, Steve Aquilina being unable to defend himself, the referee stops the contest. The winner then, Chris Eubank.
So England's Chris Eubank with a very impressive victory. 4th round technical knockout over Steve Aquilina. And there you see Aquilina leaving the ring. And Chris Eubank, who jumped over the top rope to get into the ring, went right to work, made it 4 rounds, and he leaves with a victory. Very exciting fighter. In his 10th pro fight, Chris Eubank.